In part one of the Safford BLM adventure, I left you guys off in this Whitlock Valley. Now, we've just gotten through the Whitlock Mountains and we've come quite a ways east from that main drag road. So we're up in the Whitlock Valley now, where the terrain has absolutely changed up here, and we've actually ended up in public trust land, but we have to scoot a little bit more through it. We've got to go east some more, and then there should be a nice road down there that'll cut south, and we should find a road to continue around the Javelina peak right there to continue westward back to the main drag of the BLM land in Safford, where we're hoping to go stop by Hotwell Dunes, check out what that recreation area is. There also appeared to be this maybe dipping springs up by Javelina Peak. We might go check that out, but it is 3 o'clock and the sun is going to be setting at about 5:30, 6:30. So we've only got about three and a half hours left to the day. So we've got to get a move on. We should be able to make some pretty good progress through the state trust land. Try to get out of here nice and quickly. I don't want to hang around too long. I don't really know if I'm not supposed to be here, but we'll only be here for very shortly. And yeah, we've just got to get a move on. This adventure has been absolutely fantastic, and I cannot wait to see what the downside around Javelina Peak has in store for us.
This day is gonna be the greatest memory, making history. Let's go. You don't need no luck with that golden touch. Time to light it up. Let's go. Get ready for it. Get ready for it. Get ready for it. Yeah, this is it. Go! 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 Yeah, this is it. Go! Go! Let's go! This is it. Yeah, it's about to break. Got what it's gonna take. Go ahead and on that stage. Let's go. When you're made for this, yeah, it's obvious. Top of the list. Let's go. Get ready for it. Get ready for it. Get ready for it. Yeah, this is it. Go! 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 Yeah, this is it. Go! Go! Let's go! This is it. It's now or it's never. No plan with forever. It's now or it's never. Hey. It's down to the wire. Who gon' take the empire? It's down to the wire. This is it. Get ready for it. Get ready for it. Get ready for it. This is it. Yeah, this is it. Go! 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 Yeah, this is it. Go! Go! Let's go! This is it. Go! 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 This is it. Go! Let's go!
So we've made it to the right around the backside of the Javelina Peak. On Gaia GPS, this says it's a dipping spring. I don't think it's anything worth really checking out. What it actually looks like here, I mean, it's kind of cool. It's just I didn't know what it was. It's a little spring icon on Gaia GPS, but what it actually looks like is that it's really just like a dam. There's a pipe that comes out of the bottom of it, but hey, I wanted to come check it out. It's interesting. The only thing that I'm dreading about this is I've got to back out of here now. There's really no way to turn around, but it is what it is. It'll be all right. I've got to try to make some progress down around Javelina Peak here. The sun is on the other side here, and it's been getting darker and darker, so I'm trying to get back into the light. But yeah, so we're gonna carry on. Dipping spring. Interesting, just not much to see. All right, well, this is gonna be Hotwell Dunes recreational area. There's a couple campers. I think there's actually like 2 areas to camp here. But coming down off the backside of Javelina Peak, we definitely entered a very duney area. You could definitely tell a lot of ATVs, a lot of dirt bikes. So, it's like a hot tub. Oh, that's cool. It's pretty warm water. Man, this would be an awesome place to. This would be an awesome place to camp. Possibly on a through trip some other time. But I still want to get down to the canyon area. I've obviously bitten off a little bit more than I can chew. The sun is now starting to set. And I have yet to make it back to that main drag road. But I think it's going to be fine. We may have to do just a little bit of night traveling. I'm probably, once I get back to it, which we're not very far, I will probably just stick to the main drag road until we get down to the southern portion. I've definitely had a very adventurous day, and even though I'm not like actually overlanding through it, it pretty much turned into a wheeling trip. It doesn't matter. I am one happy camper, but I don't want to stay at a campground type thing like this. I want to experience the solitude of camping, dispersed camping in BLM land. So we're going to work our way, get back to that main drag, and continue on south with what little daylight we have left. Well, so I followed through with poking around up into the Ward Canyon area and got myself on a nice narrow little trail and pretty much had to follow it through. It took me all the way up into this huge canyon area that I bet would have been a nice drive during the day when we could see, but absolutely no camping spots up here. I did pass one early on this trail that it was a little bit of a clearing, and that might work out for us, but I'm gonna have to try to find that again. Otherwise, we're gonna have to just keep on looking, and maybe the thing to do is to just go back and head further south towards San Simon. Maybe it's just more shrubby up here towards the mountain range here. But gonna keep pressing on, see if I can find a camp spot. Hopefully I find one soon. I'm starting to get tired and very hungry. We did end up finding a decent campsite after all. After the canyons, rather than heading back south the way I came, I decided to just keep pushing north and hook around McKenzie Peak. After going that direction for a while and still not finding anything, I literally turned around to go start heading down south to San Simon, because I'm also at only a quarter tank of gas, which doing just fine, and I've got plenty, but I didn't want to just keep driving around aimlessly, so I was just going to start heading down to San Simon, and I almost missed this spot doubling back. So I missed it the first time, and I almost missed it the second time, but after pulling in, it's a pretty nice area. It's a little clearing. It's perched up on a little hill. We've got McKenzie Peak over here, and you know, there's an established campfire, so it's a decent camp spot. San Simone, I don't know if you're able to see it. Those lights down there, faint off in the distance, that's San Simone, and that's where I'm going to pick up I-10 in the morning. And I have a long drive ahead of me, and I've got to do it just about straight through. It's going to be pretty much 26, 27 hours from where I'm at now. And being that I've got a long drive ahead of me, I'm going to try to get an early start. So I'm wanting to get to bed early again, but no matter how cold I am tomorrow, no matter how reluctant I am to get moving, 5, 6 o'clock, we're going to start getting everything packed up, check out the sunrise, and check out how nice the campsite ended up being with its surroundings, because it's really hard to tell at night. But yeah, I'm gonna get going up to bed. Not gonna mess around, and yeah, we'll check things out in the morning. Well, we didn't make out too bad last night. It got cold, not as cold as the first morning, but it definitely did get into about 28 degrees. Is what the weather app told me this morning. Surprisingly, I've got service up here. Campsite didn't turn out bad at all. There's just a bunch of low-laying little peaks around everywhere. And this big volcano-y looking one behind me is Peak McKenzie. Just beyond Peak McKenzie is Ward Canyon, where we came through last night. Now, I can get down into San Simone by just continuing south on this side of Peak McKenzie, which it actually looks like it's in a bit of a fog right now this morning as we make our way there. But rather than doing that, I actually want to double back the exact same way we came in last night around Peak McKenzie and out through Ward Canyon. Being that it was dark last night and it's pitch black out here at night, you can barely see anything even with all the lighting. I kind of wanted to see what Ward Canyon looked like as we left out this morning, but we can't hang around too long. Like I said, I do have to get on the road and heading home as soon as possible, but I think we've got just enough time to still drive through Ward Canyon. But I've got everything just about ready to be packed up. I'm be done here in a couple of minutes, and we'll see about getting out of here as soon as we can. And so we've made it back on the trail, wrapping around McKenzie Peak now. A little later than I was hoping. It's 8 a.m. now, but I was getting everything packed up and I realized that I've pretty much exhausted all of the storage space on nearly all of my cameras. So I had to do a little bit of media management before we could get going today. But all is well, we're on the trail now. Still early enough, just not as early as I wanted. So here's the Ward Canyon area where I was trying to find a camp spot last night. It's a real nice area, but it's got, you know, too many hills and too much shrubbery. There's not really any kind of flat clearings to be able to pull off and find a camp spot for the night. Now, I also looked down what's actually, you know, the Ward Canyon. It cuts right up in front of those mountaintops that the sun is trying to rise over, and that actually goes down into a real canyon-esque type area, a real narrow passage with little cliffs and all of that. But I don't even know what I was thinking trying to find a camp spot over there. I definitely did not find one, but all is well. I had a fun drive last night. But up ahead of us also, there's on the map it looks like there might be some ruins. So let's continue heading south and go see if we can check out the ruins. Now that it's daylight, I don't know, there might be something up over here. I couldn't see anything last night when I was driving by. I couldn't even see if there was like a way to like actually stop. We could have probably done just fine camping here last night. It's impossible to see these things in the dark. It's got to be like really obvious. That's why it's so important to try to find your camp spot in the daylight. Yeah, there's an established fire pit right here. I don't know how I would have felt really about camping right next to some supposed ruins. I wouldn't want to go check that out in the middle of the dark. Well, this is where it was on the map. I don't know if it's actually a ruin or not, but there's this big wall we can duck up under. And that looks maybe a little bit more modern, man-made to me. Kind of like a dam. Don't really see anything else over here. Worth checking out for a couple minutes. You never know with landmarks on Gaia GPS. All right, well that there was the ruins, maybe. We're gonna get back to Loki and keep going south.
Stay in the feeling, so illuminated.
What an epic adventure. We've driven nearly 115 miles through the Safford BLM, overlanding our way down from the north to the south. And we've now made it back to the gas station in here, the only one in San Simone where the gas price is $4 a gallon. All is well though, totally worth it to have such an awesome adventure overlanding through Safford BLM. Definitely worth it. At this point, me and Loki gotta get home. We've gotta get aired up, top them off with fuel, and then we've got to hit I-10 and start heading east back to Florida for a very long drive. But I hope you guys have enjoyed the adventure. I surely have. As always, I hope you have a great week, and we hope to see you on the next one.
To learn more about us and find out ways to help support the adventures, visit our website, sunshinestatevikings.com. And to keep up with our adventures, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification button, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Sunshine State Vikings.